about you guys, but in the early days of my practice, I always felt really weird about deities and deity worship, especially in the beginning when Wicca was kind of the first introduction, and it talks about like the father spirit and the mother spirit, and there's all this cross-cultural stuff going on. It never felt right to me. I don't know if it's because I wasn't raised Christian and I wasn't used to like worshiping a god. Anytime that I tried to connect with a deity, felt insincere. It took many years for me to hone my craft and define my version of spirituality to where I understood my relationship with deities. The first thing I needed for myself was to define my path. I needed to kind of pick something specific that felt right. That's when I focused more on the Irish Celtic folk traditions, although I would say that my practice now is a little more broader than that. And because I had focused in my craft, I had a pantheon of deities to look into and try and connect with. And because I had spent a lot of my younger years very immersed in the mythology and lore of the Tuatha that's where I gravitated. Even then, trying to work with them or worship them did not feel natural or right to me at all. It felt very performative. And I've read all the books. Trust me, I've read all the books. They're usually written by one or two of the same authors, and they define the same things, and it felt very controlling to me or restrictive. And it wasn't until I really sat with myself and I decided what I needed to feel comfortable in that spiritual realm. And I decided that it was not about working with, because my belief, my core belief, is that you can't work with a deity. Working with a deity to me sounds like using them as a tool. Almost like a lack of respect that I felt came with working with. Worshipping also didn't feel right to me because I feel like that's what the Christian God demands of his people. And I didn't believe that the Irish gods or many of the other gods are actually demanding worship. I also believe that gods are not our servants to be beckoned whenever we feel like it. As my solution, I chose to begin by venerating the gods. Veneration is even deeper than honoring. It is sacred. And through that process, I was coming to my deities with respect and sometimes offerings, and I asked nothing of them, just to let me feel their presence once in a while. And the more I did this, the more I realized that the gods I was trying to connect with were not demanding blind loyalty, they were demanding true, authentic loyalty, which is what I came with when I decided to come to them in a way that felt true to me. And I can tell you that they have never left me since. The process by which I communicate with them and I honor them is absolutely my own, as it should be for everybody. Also, I've learned that if you feel compelled to venerate another god from another pantheon that might conflict with the one that you're currently venerating, you should just ask permission. And it's not permission in a sense where you can or you can't, but you're just coming with respect and saying, I feel so-and-so's energy and I would like to do this, but I don't want to lose you. What I learned is that the deities aren't allowing you to do or not do something. And if you come with the right amount of respect, all they're asking of you is to not waver. And if you are questioning yourself in any way or unsure of where to put your loyalty, then that is a weakness. That's the message that I receive. Be going on a little long here. It's a very complicated conversation and it's unique to everybody. So what I would suggest is if you are struggling and you are feeling unsure about deities and if you want to incorporate them in your practice or not, do what feels right to you. And I promise you, you will find them. You can honor them the way it feels right for you. You do not have to make any pacts with them. You don't have to make any promises. You can call on them for help when needed. And if they believe that you are true, then yes, they will help you. But we are not their servants and they are not ours. I think that's all I have to say about that. If you've been struggling with the deity thing, then you're not alone.